Hi, today's passage is taken from Matthew 26, verse 36 to 46. Then Jesus came with them to a place called Gethsemane and said to the disciples, "Sit here while I go and pray over there." And he took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, and he began to be sorrowful and deeply distressed. Then he said to them, "My soul is exceedingly sorrowful, even to death. Stay here and watch with me." He went a little farther and fell on his face and prayed, saying, "O my Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will." Then he came to the disciples and found them sleeping, and said to Peter, "What? Could you not watch with me 1 hour? Watch and pray, lest you enter into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." Again, a second time, Jesus went away and prayed, saying, "O my Father, if this cup cannot pass away from me, unless I drink it, your will be done." And he came and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy. So he left them, went away again, and prayed a third time, saying the same words. Then he came to his disciples and said to them, "Are you still sleeping and resting? Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is being betrayed into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us be going. See, our betrayers are at hand." Today is a long passage. It's the prayer in the garden. And I'd like to just highlight some things that hopefully will inspire you to see the importance of prayer and how Jesus believed in prayer and how often he prayed. It's just amazing. It says here in 37, "And he took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, and he began to be sorrowful and deeply distressed." So this kind of anxiety, distress. We all have experienced that before, so we probably understand Jesus. Then 38, "And he said to them, My soul is exceedingly sorrowful, even to death. Stay here and watch with me." So it is bad. But what is Jesus doing? Instead of worrying, he goes and prays. That's a good thing to do. So his habit is, when he gets distressed or under stress, instead of worrying, instead of having sleepless nights, he started praying. So we see here a sample of the Garden of Gethsemane where he is praying to receive his peace. So he went to pray. Stay here and watch with me. 39. He went a little farther and fell on his face and prayed, saying, "O my Father, if it's possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will." And he came to the disciples and found them sleeping and said to Peter, "What?" Sounds like he's surprised. "Could you not watch with me 1 hour?" It looks like Jesus has been praying for 1 hour. And he was surprised that the disciples were not able to pray for 1 hour. Now, here's a personal question. How long are you able to pray? When I lock you up in a room for 1 hour, how will you be doing? You'll be watching the clock every minute? How will you be doing? It is like, what? Could you not watch with me 1 hour? It's like it meant nothing for Jesus. Watch and pray, lest you enter into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. We also see here that Jesus is saying, watch and pray, lest you fall into temptation. We can see that Jesus says, prayer helps us to overcome temptation. Prayer is an awesome way for us to overcome things. That's another reason why we should pray. We should pray so we have more and more victory in our lives. Maybe that's why Christians don't have victory, because they're not praying. Let us be people of prayer and follow Jesus' example. Again, a second time, Jesus went away and prayed, saying, "O my Father, if this cup cannot pass away from me unless I drink it, your will be done." And he came and found them asleep again. Like, wow, for their eyes were heavy and tired. I understand that. So I left them, went away again, and prayed a third time, saying the same words. Interesting. Jesus is praying the same thing again and again. This was a burden and there was a problem for him. So it's not a problem to come to God and talk about the same thing. The thing is, we have to keep praying until we receive God's peace. Because what happens after verse 44? Then he came to his disciples and said to them, "Are you still sleeping and resting? Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is being betrayed into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us be going. See, my betrayer is in the hand." He's ready. It just feels for me like he has peace. He's relaxed. That's how long we have to pray. If you are stressful and anxious about things, you need to pray until you have God's peace. And then another thing is, he knows things before it happens. How do you think he knows things before it happens? God must have been talking to him or showing him things. And so if you want to see things happen, if you want to see things coming to fulfillment in your life, you need to pray more. Talk with God, and you will see amazing things happen. I hope that this little passage inspired you, and that it inspired you to spend time with the Lord and get to know him better. Thanks for listening. God bless. Bye.